Conservation group Worldwide Fund for Nature Philippines throws its support behind the full implementation of the Extended Producer's Responsibility, or EPR law. Now, it's perceived as a critical step towards battling plastic pollution. But what really is the EPR law and how vital is it? Well, joining us now live via Zoom to tell us more is Attorney Joan Serrano. She's the EPR Program Manager of WWF-Philippines. Good morning, I should say, Attorney Serrano. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Paolo. Good morning, everyone.
It's a pleasure to have you, Attorney.
Today.
Attorney Joe, before we go into the benefits of this EPR law, let's take a step backwards. Let's look at the bigger picture. What is the state of plastic pollution and waste management situation here in the Philippines? Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? Let's look at maybe 5 years running. Has it gotten better or worse?
Actually, yes. Yes, Paolo. It's rather in a bad state. I don't know if it's better or worse, but we conducted a study like 2019. And we found out that the 2.15 million tons of plastic every year. So a third of that is and ends up in the environment. So in the open environment, polluting the environment. So we also found out that there's lack of recycling facilities nationwide. They are mostly concentrated in the cities and urban areas, and we need to do something about this.
We definitely
we
do
also
need to do
found out,
something.
yes. Is my audio okay? It's
Yes,
rather
yes,
choppy.
please.
Okay, thank you. And we also found out that there is limited segregation of waste at source, so we also need to do something about it.
Okay, well,
And
that's I think what the
there's
EPR law is all about.
value
Now, the
plastics.
EPR bill, which lapsed into
Yes.
law last July 23, 2022, I understand. What exactly is this about? Now, this supersedes RA 9003. How different is
Yes,
RA
Paolo.
11898 from the previous law that was in existence? What exactly is the difference, and how does it take a step further towards eliminating plastic pollution?
Oh, okay. The new law, the EPR law, it's the Extended Producer Responsibility Law. It improved on the existing law that we have, the RA 9003. What it did is that it extended the responsibility of manufacturers. Usually, right, their responsibility ends when we use the product and we throw it when their use stop, right? So
Yes.
for example, the plastic packaging of the food that we eat. So
Right.
under EPR law, the law extended that responsibility. They are now obliged to help us recover the plastic from the trash. So they are given targets, like for this year, they're supposed to recover 20% of the plastics they used. So there's this sharing of burden, because under the old law, the burden of collecting and recycling is mostly on the shoulders of the local government units. So
Right.
now the large corporations will now help out.
Okay, well, we certainly need to be working together on this. Attorney Joe, what solutions are in place for large companies when you say they have a responsibility to help recover some of this plastic waste? What are some of the solutions that we can look towards and hold each other responsible for? What perhaps are some of the ways that we are going to monitor whether or not this is being done, and what are the penalties in place, in connection with this law for companies that are not doing their share?
Yes, good question, Paolo. Under the new law, the obliged companies are supposed to come up with their EPR program, wherein they disclose what type of plastics they use and how much tons per year, and then how do they plan to recover their share of plastics from the trash, from the
Right.
garbage. So they need to submit that to the DNR, and how they plan to dispose of it or
Right.
recycle it back into production.
Are
The
there
good
any
thing with
penalties in
EPR law
place
is
for
that
companies that aren't able to actually live up to the promise or their part of the responsibility here?
they'd be penalized with fines in the millions of pesos, and then repeated violations will result in their license being suspended. So it's a little
Right.
heavy for them. So um, Of
All right,
course,
attorney,
there's
if I can ask
penalty,
you,
there's also
it took years
incentives.
of work and dialogue to make the EPR law, have a bit more teeth and really sort of move us forward in our battle against plastic. Definitely, your efforts at
Yes,
the
we did.
WWF has made this
Yes.
possible. What are some of the training programs that will guide companies and organizations to properly implement the EPR law, and what part does the WWF play in making sure that some of these training programs reach the proper institutions?
Oh, okay. We conducted multi-stakeholders dialogues, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we came up with this white paper,
Mm-hmm.
and we gathered all their perspectives and their insights on how we can make sure that the EPR law is rolled out properly.
All right, attorney, on a last note before I let you go,
And we
what
have this
perhaps is your
list
advice
that
for
we hope to
citizens
see.
who need
The
to or who want to pitch in on a on a single citizen sort of basis? What can we be doing as individuals?
For the individuals, perhaps first thing is to, we've heard this before, reuse, reduce, recycle,
Mm-hmm.
recover.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Perhaps for the ordinary citizen, we can affect behavioral change in each of us. Let's try to notice how much plastic packaging we use every day, every week, every month, and try to lessen it, have it, during the year, at least for this first year. And then let's not mix garbage anymore. Let's separate the plastics from household basis.
Right. Well, great advice there, attorney. I think we really all have to share in this burden. The EPR law has lapsed into law, and I think it's there to help all of us. Thank you so much, Attorney Joan Serrano, for joining us this morning right here on New Day.